What makes a wild creature choose a human home? In the rugged embrace of Pine Ridge, Montana, where the Bitterroot Mountains kiss the sky, Dawson's General Store stood as a beacon of community. Ellie Dawson, 42, with callous hands and a smile that had old wounds, ran the store her father built. Her life was the creak of wooden floors, the jingle of the bell above the door, and the soft patting of paws from Rusty, a 40-pound bobcat with amber eyes and a past as wild as the forest. Rusty wasn't just a pet. He was a survivor, rescued as a cub from a poacher's trap that left him with a limp and no chance of returning to the wild. Ellie raised him, her grief over losing her father to a forest fire softened by his curious gaze. Now, he perched on a cushioned platform by the register, greeting customers with a flick of his tufted ears, a local legend in a flannel town. This morning, as the sun spilled through the store's windows, a low growl from Rusty stirred Ellie's heart. What's got Rusty on edge, and what's coming to Pine Ridge? Can a wild heart win a town? Rusty's platform was his throne, a hand-carved oak perch where he watched the world with quiet dignity. Customers loved him. Old Mr. Harper, who brought jerky, or kids who giggled at his whiskers. But Rusty's real magic was his tip. A gentle paw tap on a customer's hand, offered only to those he trusted, a gesture that left heart soaring. Ellie's best friend, Caleb, a burly mechanic with a soft spot for animals, stocked shelves nearby. He's got better instincts than most people, Caleb said, tossing Rusty a treat. Ellie nodded, her eyes tracing the scar on Rusty's leg. A reminder of his rescue 5 years ago. She'd found him, bloodied and mewling, and vowed to give him a home. A stranger entered, his boots heavy, his eyes scanning not the shelves but Rusty. Why is this man watching Rusty so closely? What does a stranger bring to a quiet town? The man, lean with a scar across his jaw, bought a single bolt. His voice clipped. "Nice cat," he said, but his smile didn't reach his eyes. Rusty's ears flattened, his growl low, a warning Ellie felt in her bones. She rang him up, her hand steady, but her gut churned. She'd seen that look before in the poachers who plagued Pine Ridge. Caleb watched the man leave, his truck kicking up dust. "Trouble," he muttered, and Ellie agreed. Poachers had returned recently, their traps found in the Bitterroot Forest, threatening the wildlife her father died protecting. Rusty's platform creaked as he stood, his eyes locked on the door, as if sensing a storm. Outside, a faint rustle came from the pines, too deliberate for wind. Is the stranger alone, or is something bigger brewing? What binds a woman and a bobcat? 5 years ago, Ellie hiked the forest, her father's old knife in her pocket, grief still raw. She'd found Rusty, a cub caught in a steel trap, his cries piercing the dusk. Her hands shook as she freed him, whispering, "You're safe now." His amber eyes met hers, a bond forged in that moment of salvation. Back then, Dr. Noratate, the local vet, warned Ellie, "He's imprinted on you. The wild's no place for him now." Ellie built Rusty a home, his limp a constant reminder of her father's fight against poachers. Now, in the store, she stroked Rusty's fur, her heart heavy with that memory. Rusty's growl deepened, his eyes on the window, where a shadow moved. What's Rusty sensing in the dark? Can a store hold a community together? Pine Ridge buzzed with morning shoppers, their chatter filling Dawson's General Store. Mrs. Clara Boone, 80, dropped off her usual jerky for Rusty, laughing as he tapped her hand. "He's better than a tip jar," she said. Ellie smiled, but her eyes scanned the crowd, searching for the stranger's face. Caleb reported a broken trap, found near the store, its jaws smeared with blood. "Poachers are back," he said, his voice low. Ellie's hand tightened on her father's knife, kept under the counter. Rusty's platform was a stage, but today, his ears stayed flat, his body tense. A child's gasp broke the tension. A girl, Lily 9, autistic and shy, stared at Rusty, her eyes wide. What will Rusty do for Lily? Can a bobcat touch a silent heart? Lily, clutching her mother Rose's hand, approached Rusty's platform, her gaze locked on his. Ellie watched, knowing Lily rarely spoke, her world a quiet fortress. Rusty stretched, his limp barely noticeable, and gently tapped Lily's trembling fingers, his paw soft as a whisper. Rosa gasped, tears brimming. "She's never let an animal near her," she whispered. Ellie's heart swelled. Rusty's gift wasn't just a trick. It was connection, pure and raw. The store hushed, customers filming, the moment already spreading on X. But outside, the stranger's truck idled, its engine a low growl. Is Lily's moment in danger? What's the price of a viral star? By noon, Rusty's paw tap was trending. Videos captioned Bobcat's heartwarming tip, flooding social media. Ellie's phone buzzed with notifications, but her joy faded when she found notes slipped under the door. Hand over the cat, or the store burns. Her blood ran cold. Poachers wanted Rusty, alive or dead. Caleb checked the security cameras, spotting the stranger, now identified as Vince, a known poacher. He's with a blackthorn ring, Caleb said, his face grim. Ellie clutched her father's knife, remembering his warning. Poachers don't stop, Ellie. Rusty's eyes met hers, steady, unafraid. A faint smoke smell drifted through the window. Is Vince already making good on his threat? Can a bobcat smell danger? Ellie rushed outside, Rusty leaping from his platform, his growl sharp. A trash bin smoldered, flames licking the store's wall. Caleb grabbed an extinguisher, dousing it, but Ellie's heart raced. Vince was sending a message. She called Sheriff Holt, her voice steady despite her fear. Rusty paced, his nose twitching, leading Ellie to a hidden trap behind the store, its jaws gleaming. He's targeting you, Caleb said, his hand shaking. Ellie nodded, her resolve hardening. Her father fought poachers. She would too. Rusty's paw tapped her hand, a quiet promise. A tire screech echoed from the street. Vince's truck speeding away. What's Vince planning next? Can a community stand against fear? Sheriff Holt arrived, his face lined with worry. Blackthorn's big, Ellie. They sell exotic animals. Rusty's a prize. The town gathered, their voices a chorus of support. Mrs. Boone vowed to patrol. Lily's mother, Rosa, offered to monitor X for poacher activity. Rusty sat on his platform, his eyes scanning the crowd, tapping Lily's hand again, her smile a beacon. Ellie felt her father's strength in her, his knife a talisman. But Nora warned, Rusty stressed. Too much attention could hurt him. A new post on X showed Rusty's platform, captioned, "He's next." Is Rusty in more danger than they thought? What lurks in the shadows of Pine Ridge? Ellie and Caleb stayed late, boarding windows, Rusty pacing beside them. The store was a fortress, but Ellie's heart was heavy. Rusty's fame was a beacon for poachers. She stroked his fur, whispering, "We'll keep you safe." Nora stopped by, checking Rusty's health. "He's strong, but he's sensing trouble," she said, noting his tense muscles. Ellie found a tracker under Rusty's platform, planted by Vince. Her blood ran cold. They were being watched. Rusty's growl cut through the silence, his eyes on the back door. Is Vince already inside? Can a bobcat fight a thief? The back door creaked open, Vince's silhouette framed by moonlight. Rusty leapt, claws slashing, sending Vince stumbling. Ellie grabbed her father's knife, shouting, "Get out!" Caleb tackled Vince, but he slipped free, dropping a map marked with trap locations. Sheriff Holt arrived, taking the map, his face grim. "They're targeting the whole forest," he said. Rusty's platform was empty. He'd chased Vince outside, his limp slowing him but his spirit fierce. Ellie followed, her heart pounding, finding Rusty guarding the lot. A new engine roared nearby, headlights cutting the dark. Is Vince alone or is the ring closing in? Can a bobcat lead the way? Rusty bolted into the bitterroot forest, Ellie and Caleb following, flashlights bouncing. The map showed a poacher camp, traps set for wolves, bears, and Rusty. Ellie's breath caught. Her father died fighting these men, and now it was her turn. Rusty's growl guided them to a clearing, where traps gleamed, baited with meat. Ellie disarmed one, her hand steady, but Vince's voice echoed, "You can't stop us." Rusty's ears twitched, leading them deeper, his limp a badge of courage. A rifle shot rang out, splintering a tree. Can Ellie and Rusty outrun the hunters? What secrets lie in the wild? Rusty stopped at a cave, pawing a metal box buried in dirt. Ellie opened it, finding a ledger, names, dates, buyers for Blackthorn's animals. Her father's initials were scrawled inside, a clue he'd been tracking them before his death. "You knew," Ellie whispered, tears falling. Caleb radioed Holt, But Vince's men emerged, rifles raised. Rusty growled, leaping at one, buying Ellie time to hide the ledger. Her heart raced. This was her father's fight, now hers and Rusty's. A flashlight beam swept the cave, Vince's voice cold. Will Rusty's courage save them? Can a bobcat face a killer? Vince lunged, grabbing Ellie's knife at her throat. Rusty attacked, claws raking Vince's arm, freeing her. Caleb fired a warning shot, scattering Vince's men, but Vince fled, vowing, "This isn't over." Ellie clutched the ledger, her hands shaking, Rusty's warmth grounding her. Holt's deputies arrived, securing the cave, the ledger a bombshell. "This will take down Blackthorn," Holt said, but Ellie saw Rusty's eyes, still alert. The town was safe, but the forest wasn't. A new trap snapped shut nearby, its jaws empty. Is Vince still hunting Rusty? What happens when a bobcat becomes a star? The ledger's evidence hit the news. Rusty's chase trending on X, captioned "Bobcat Hero Saves Town." Pine Ridge buzzed with reporters, tourists flocking to see Rusty's paw tap. Ellie limited his hours, protecting him, but Lily's visits grew. Her words, "Love you, Rusty," a viral sensation. Nora warned Ellie, "Blackthorn's leader is still out there." Ellie nodded, her father's knife in her pocket, Rusty's platform her anchor. The store was a fortress, but the forest whispered danger. A new post on X showed Rusty, marked with a red X. Who's targeting Rusty now? Can you fight an enemy you can't see? Holt identified Blackthorn's leader, Mr. Grayson, a wealthy rancher who'd smiled at Ellie's store, buying nails. The ledger named him, his empire built on blood. Ellie's heart sank. He'd used her trust, just as he'd used her father's. Caleb and Rosa patrolled, Lily clutching Rusty's platform, her eyes wide. Rusty tapped her hand, calming her, but his ears stayed flat, sensing Grayson's men. Ellie found a camera outside, streaming the store live. Rusty's growl echoed, his eyes on the pines. Is Grayson watching their every move? Can a bobcat protect his home? At midnight, Grayson's men cut the store's power, shadows moving outside. Rusty leapt from his platform, his growl a warning. Ellie grabbed her knife, Caleb his shotgun. As glass shattered, a Molotov cocktail sparking the floor. Lily and Rosa, they're late, hid behind the counter, Lily whispering, "Rusty safe." The bobcat stood guard, his paw on Lily's hand, calming her as Ellie doused the flames. Holt's sirens wailed, but Grayson's voice crackled through a radio. "Give me the cat." Rusty's eyes gleamed, leading Ellie to the back door. What's Rusty planning? Can a bobcat outrun danger? Rusty bolted outside, Ellie and Caleb following, Lily and Rosa safe with Holt. The forest swallowed them. Grayson's men in pursuit, their flashlights slicing the dark. Rusty's limp slowed him, but his growl guided Ellie to a hidden trail. Her father's old path. The ledger was in Ellie's pack, its secrets Grayson's downfall. She disarmed the trap, Rusty sniffing ahead, his instincts sharp. Caleb whispered, "He's like your dad," his voice thick. Ellie nodded, her heart full. Rusty was her father's legacy. A rifle cocked, Grayson's shadow looming. Can Rusty lead them to safety? Can a bobcat face a kingpin? Grayson stepped into the clearing, his gun aimed at Ellie. "The ledger now," he snarled. Rusty lunged, claws slashing, knocking the gun away. Ellie tackled Grayson, Caleb cuffing him, as Rusty stood guard, his growl a roar. Holt's deputies swarmed, arresting Grayson's men, the ledger safe. Lily ran to Rusty, her arms around him, whispering, "Hero." The town's phones lit up, live streaming Rusty's stand, the video going viral. Ellie's eyes met Rusty's. Her father would be proud. But a new trap gleamed nearby, untouched. Is Blackthorn truly finished? Can a store hold a victory? Dawn broke. Pine Ridge celebrating Grayson's arrest, the store packed with supporters. Rusty tapped hands, his platform a stage of joy. Lily smiled the brightest. Ellie spoke, her voice steady. "This is for my dad, for Rusty, for us." The ledger dismantled Blackthorn, their traps cleared from the forest. Nora checked Rusty, his health strong, his spirit fiercer. But Ellie found a note in the ledger, her father's handwriting. "Find the cash." Rusty's ears twitched, his eyes on the forest. What's her father hiding? What did a hero leave behind? Ellie followed Rusty to a forest hollow, his paws digging up a buried box. Inside was a journal, her father's, detailing Blackthorn's global network, a fight he never finished. Ellie's tears fell. He'd trusted Rusty to guide her. Caleb read the journal, his face pale. "This names people in D.C., Ellie." The town rallied, vowing to protect the forest, Rusty their mascot. Lily drew Rusty, her picture trending online, captioned Bobcat hero. A new post on X showed a black truck near the store. Is danger back already? Can a Bobcat sense a storm? Holt traced the truck to Blackthorn's remnants, led by Grayson's son, Ethan. Ellie clutched the journal, her father's words of fire in her chest. "Keep fighting, Ellie." Rusty paced, his growl low, as if sensing Ethan's approach. Rosa monitored X, finding threats against Rusty. Lily stayed close, her hand on his platform, whispering, "Safe, Rusty." Ellie smiled, but her heart raced. The store was a target again, and Rusty was their shield. A shadow moved outside, a glint of steel in the dark. Is Ethan here for revenge? Can a Bobcat stop a killer? Ethan's men smashed a window, smoke bombs filling the store. Rusty leapt, guiding Ellie and Caleb through the haze, his growl a beacon. Lily hid with Rosa, her whisper calming Rusty. "Good boy." Ellie grabbed a journal, her knife ready, as Caleb fired a warning shot. Ethan's voice echoed, "The cat's mine." Rusty's claws slashed, scattering the men, buying time for Holt's deputies to arrive. The town live-streamed, Rusty's stand trending globally. A new trap snapshot outside, empty but close. What's Ethan's next move? Can a Bobcat uncover the truth? Rusty led Ellie to another cache, hidden in a tree, containing a USB drive, her father's final evidence, naming Blackthorn's global buyers. Ellie's hands shook. This was his legacy, Rusty its keeper. Caleb radioed the FBI. The drive a game-changer. Lily drew Rusty's platform, her art a viral hit, inspiring protests against poaching. Rusty tapped her hand, his eyes soft, as if thanking her. But Ethan's truck was spotted, circling Pine Ridge. A low growl from Rusty broke the silence, his eyes on the pines. Is Ethan closing in? Can a town fight a global empire? Ethan attacked at dawn, his men storming the store. Rusty leapt, claws flashing, protecting Lily as Ellie and Caleb fought back. Holt's deputies swarmed, cuffing Ethan, the USB drive sent to the FBI. The town cheered, their phones capturing Rusty's heroism. Rusty's platform stood firm, his paw tapping Ellie's hand. A quiet victory. Lily spoke, her voice clear. Rusty's family. The video trended, millions sharing the Bobcat stand. Pine Ridge a beacon of hope. But the journal mentioned one last cache, unopened. What's Rusty guarding now? What's a Bobcat's final gift? Rusty led Ellie to a riverbank, digging up a tin box. Inside was a chip, her father's voice recorded. "Ellie, Rusty's your guide. Save the wild." The chip mapped Blackthorn's last hideouts, a global takedown waiting. Ellie's tears fell. Her father lived in Rusty. The town formed a conservation group. Dawson's general store at heart, Rusty its hero. Lily's drawing sold online, funding the fight. Rusty's paw taps continued, each one a promise to her father. A new post on X hinted at a surviving Blackthorn member. Is the fight truly over? Can a Bobcat spark a movement? The chip's data led to arrests worldwide, Blackthorn's network collapsing. Ellie trained rangers, Rusty at her side, his limp a badge of honor. Lily spoke more, her bond with Rusty a viral story, inspiring millions. Caleb built Rusty a new platform, the store sanctuary. Mrs. Boone brought jerky daily, her smile wide as Rusty tapped her hand. But Ellie found a new note in the journal. The leader's closer than you think. Rusty's growl echoed at dusk, his eyes on the horizon. Who's still out there? Can a Bobcat face the final threat? The note pointed to Nora. She'd been feeding Blackthorn tips, her vet clinic affront. Ellie confronted her, Rusty growling, his paw still. "I had no choice," Nora sobbed. But Ellie handed her to Holt, the chip's data exposing her. Pine Ridge rallied, protecting Rusty, the store fortress. Lily's mother, Rosa, led online campaigns, her daughter's art a global symbol. Rusty's eyes met Ellie's, His tapper vowed to keep fighting. A new trap was found, disarmed but fresh. Is there another traitor in Pine Ridge? What does a bobcat leave behind? Ellie's conservation group grew, saving forests worldwide. Rusty's story a beacon. Lily spoke in sentences. Her bond with Rusty a miracle. Her art funding sanctuaries. The store thrived. Rusty's platform a shrine of hope. Caleb proposed naming the group after Ellie's father, Dawson's Rangers. Ellie agreed. Her father's knife on her desk. Rusty's tapper strength. The chip's data kept breaking networks. The wild safer each day. A new growl from Rusty stirred the night. His eyes on the forest. What's calling him now? What if a bobcat's tip is a map? Rusty led Ellie to a final cache, a locket with her father's photo and a microchip. Coordinates to Blackthorn's last stronghold, a ship off the coast. Ellie smiled. Rusty's paw tapping her hand, his limp a testament to their fight. The chip sparked a global sting, saving countless animals. Dawson's general store became a conservation hub. Rusty its heart, Lily its voice. Ellie whispered, "Thanks, Dad." Her father's legacy alive in every tap. The viral story spread, millions sharing Rusty's gift. Have you ever seen an animal change your world? Share your story below.